Hello everyone, welcome back to Smart Move Insider, where we talk about fitness, community, and making progress inside and outside the gym. I'm Sergio, here with head coach Bart, and today we're diving into a subject that is sometimes met by us. How can I get into a good body shape or good physique if I just stepped into the gym late, let's say at 35, 40 years old? Let's start it from here. What can we do to ease somebody into the gym if he's a late bloomer?
You waited until 35. This is going to be a very short episode. It's over. Science says you missed your window of gains. The only thing you can do now is damage control till your inevitable demise. So Netflix and chill till your last day. So good times coming.
That would be the short answer in brackets.
That's the short answer. It's too late. No, it's never too late.
I think I know a lot of stories that some Ironman winners...
I was just thinking about that. So, for example, in strength sports, there are plenty of people that are still at elite level strength at 40 and even at 50, and in endurance sports even more. So there are world champions in their 40s, so that elite level endurance. So they prove that to be at the top best shape in your life, it's still possible. You just need to keep certain things in consideration, like if I want to stay strong as I age, I need to keep lifting heavy. So progressive overload. I just need to be more careful with volume. So I need to be a bit careful with volume because we're not recovering, as you know, we're not recovering even in our middle 30s anymore as we were in our middle 20s doing the same stuff. So we can still do it and maintain strength.
Yeah, definitely. So I know from some studies that as a man, you are in peak performance at 35, 40 years from a power standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really knowing about resistance or cardio if you can also be in the top shape, but I know that you have the peak late, not in the 20s. In the 20s, you can go to Olympics, but if you're from a genetic point of view, you're in the strongest position at closer to 40.
Yeah. I think indeed between 30 and 40 you'll get your peak strength if you trained for it, and most likely the endurance, it's a little bit after that you can peak, so you can hold that a bit longer.
So let's imagine you are 35 years old, you were cautious all your life until now, and you didn't just stand on the couch, but you did any kinds of sports outside of the gym and except lifting, because your grandma told you that your grandpa had a herniated disc from lifting, and you took her word for granted and you didn't lift anymore. So what would you do? How would you start?
Somebody that never did sports before at all, I would probably tell them now we need to get into a habit of regular movement, and I would probably say start with walking. Sounds stupid, but we're talking about somebody that never did anything in their life before. So I'll probably say start with 3 walks a week and just get into the habit of that. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm going for a walk. And then over time, I'm going to make my walk longer and I'm going to make my walk faster. And then after that period, then I would start encourage him to start a training program. I would go with walking first.
That's a really good point. I didn't thought of walking, to be honest.
Maybe walking or cycling.
How short or long should you start?
I think I would advise let's start with 30 minutes. 30-minute walk. Don't worry about the speed, but just get into the habit of 3 times a week, 30 minutes walk, and then we can build that up to an hour. And then we can play around with walk it faster to get a bit sweaty.
Mm-hmm.
And it's exercise. And for somebody that never did sports, it's going to feel like a workout eventually.
Okay.
It's all about creating habits. Just get into the habit of getting a little bit uncomfortable. And if you're out of shape, walking can get uncomfortable. Uphill, downhill, walk around your neighborhood, walk some stairs in your building, take the elevator, don't take the elevator anymore. But every time you come to the building and you're not packed with grocery bags, just walk the stairs, stuff like that. Little simple stuff.
Yeah, to be honest, I really think about not taking the elevator and just walking more, because 10 years ago I wouldn't even consider walking or climbing the stairs as an effort. But now even my Whoop, my bracelet says that try a bit of walking today because your recovery is not that well. So it is a fitness routine in the end.
Yeah, since I have a dog, I'm walking every day or sometimes twice a day if I'm doing the boat walks. It does make a difference, a little bit of this low intensity, just movement, getting movement where you can. Doesn't necessarily need to be in the gym, and especially when you're out of shape. This is how I would start. Something that is not intimidating. It's not intimidating, right? Just go for a walk, put on your jacket, go for a walk, put some music in, or be with your own thoughts for half an hour, and then get the habit of moving, or on a bicycle. But then afterwards, I would say, okay, if I want you to be healthy and training for longevity, I need you to do some resistance training, lift some weights. So I would start incorporating weight training also slowly, probably 2 times a week next to the walking.
Mm-hmm. And would you do it alone, or you would get the help of a coach? How would you?
Considering that we are talking about somebody that has zero experience in training, automatically they should go with a coach because they have some things to learn. And perhaps after a long enough period with the coach, they will have gathered enough knowledge that they can train by themselves. But definitely they should start with a coach. He has experience. He will be able to write them a plan that has a certain slow build-up. He will be able to check technique, make sure that they move well, and also progress them over time. So to give them a little bit more overtime to do so their body gets forced to get stronger.
I agree. I think there are a lot of advantages to work with a coach. It will definitely help your journey towards fitness a bit easier, because he already was there in your spot, and his experience and discipline help him help other people to do that.
Because he knows also the pitfalls, because somebody that we see many times, somebody that decides today that it's that time has come for them to get in shape, they usually are super motivated and they usually want to overdo it. And the coach will hold you back a little bit because he knows it's not the moment to go from 0 to 5 trainings a week.
Exactly. It's very common to see people that are just stepping to the gym, that they want to come 3 or 4 times a week. That can be too much.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a burst of energy. And you think it's going to do you good, but it's just going to take you all your energy and your recovery, and then you're going to hate it, and then you're not going to come anymore.
Yeah, we need to keep in consideration that your body is not used to a lot. So the right amount of training will be the training you can recover from. And in the beginning, when you're not used to anything, you don't need a lot to feel very stressed on the body. So you cannot handle a lot of volume. So it's important to keep it low, even if you feel like I didn't do that much. Your body needs to adapt. You just came out of 25, 30 years where you didn't really do anything besides live your life. No extra stress, no sports, no, your body and your muscles and your joints not used to this. So give it time. Those first months, keep it easy. So another thing that maybe one of the benefits of being out of shape is that you're supposed to do it easy in the beginning. You're not supposed to die in training every time. So take advantage of that period where you will have a slow build-up, because the moment you are in shape, you're going to stress your body and you're going to really feel it when you come to the gym. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. You just need to accept that it's part of the process. Start off slow and we ramp up to the moment where your body can handle something, and then we're going to try to stress you a little bit more every month or every couple of weeks, and your body's gonna adapt to the stress.
I thought you were going to say something different. Also, at the beginning, it's going to be a phase that you will see results immediately.
Yeah, the beginner gains.
Yeah, so those gains are like a drug. They pump you, and then you're gonna come enthusiastic into the gym, and then you're gonna get used to this. I'm gonna see every time a change, but then, as you say, you're gonna have a peak, and then you're gonna have a flat line again. But then is the coach that is gonna bring you to the next level. Maybe he's gonna change your routine. He's gonna bring another training into your routine. So you can do different things.
But that's indeed a very nice period, the beginner gain period. I would say first 6 months to a year, where whatever you do, you see big results from it. But indeed, after a while, the more experience you get into training, the less obvious the progress will be, and it will be in much smaller steps. You will make progress, but it will be much smaller steps. It's just normal. There is also something like genetical potential for max strength, for example. Eventually, you flatten out a bit, and then we're talking about percentages of gains.
Yeah, so basically you go with a bit of the end in mind. So you start with a coach, you start moving better, you start learning the routine, and then you're going to be on your own maybe. If you are in a CrossFit box, that's for sure the road. The road is towards the classes, to the general fitness, to the fun, let's say. Because when you are alone versus in the class, you can feel the different energy, if you ask me.
Yeah, for sure. The class it has that community aspect to it. It has that group feeling to it. It helps you push more, keeps you motivated to come and see your friends. So it definitely has its benefits. Also its downfalls a bit, because some people have a bit of trouble not comparing themselves constantly with others. What is it that I said to you a while ago? A nice quote that I saw. Somebody's success is not your failure.
Yeah. It's a good one.
Another person's success doesn't mean that you're a failure. You're on your own path to success at your steps, at your tempo. It's still an upward path. It's not because somebody else has a faster progress or a different progress than yours that it means that you don't have any progress.
Yeah, it always depends on who and what you compare it with. Yeah, so walking, then start training with weights and with a coach. Do you have a timeline on this?
Like how long I should walk, it depends. How long I should walk, no, depends a little bit.
You should lift weights 2 times a week, let's say.
Yeah, I would go, let's say in an ideal scenario, knowing that people usually only have time for 3 times a week, I would go 2 sessions where there is some weights involved and 1 session where there is definitely some cardio involved. If not, if you're in the classes, you'll get that for sure. Because some days we have Metcon and strength, some days we have strength but separate, some days we have a Metcon, but there is still some weights involved because it's CrossFit. It's not the typical we run today. But I think from a longevity point of view, it needs to be something that stresses both. We want to maintain muscle mass, but we also want to work your cardio, develop your lung capacity, work your heart, because that's what you're going to need in the long term. In previous episodes, we talked about how important VO2 max is. Seeing that, after 30, you drop, if you don't maintain, you drop 1% in VO2 max every year from the moment at 30 already. So you don't do zero cardio. So seeing that it takes about 12 VO2 max to stand up from a chair, it's important that we keep that VO2 max as high as we can throughout our life, because that is what's going to keep us independent. Of course, it needs to be in combination with muscle, because if I have no muscle, it's also going to be hard to stand out of my chair. The engine works, but I don't have muscle to actually lift myself up. So it's a combo of both. But you do need both, because I know some people, they like to lift weights, some people like cardio and not the other. You're going to need both. If you're thinking, I'm doing this for health purposes and have much quality of life as I can, I think you're going to have a bit of both in your training schedule.
That's well said. I have an analogy about a car. So you have the chassis and you have the engine. If the chassis is not strong enough to hold a big engine of 3.5 or 6 liters, it will break very fast. So you need both to be strong, and if you can train them in the same time, like not in the same time always, but take care of both, I think it's going to be the way to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's what makes CrossFit so nice, because it's at the base of CrossFit, we put a high importance of just having cardio, but we do a lot of things with weight as well. So we touch a bit both bases, and you need to move your body also to keep your joints healthy and keep the range of motion. and lifting weights will put stress on your bones, so it will give you more bone density. So it will help against, what is it, osteoporosis, or how do they call it? So if you don't put stress on your body your entire life on your bones, you might have a chance that in the later days you get this osteoporosis. So it has this, many benefits to do so.
So you started with a walk, and then you went to the gym, and then
Find
you
myself
did
a
the
personal
classes.
trainer.
Yes,
Yeah.
you went with the coach, you went in the classes, and then I think you can play around here.
Yeah.
So for example, if you like sports outside, I know that you also run. So you can do a half an hour to 60 minutes once a week or twice a week. It's just that pure thing what you said earlier for the cardio engine.
So if I want to keep my cardio at a certain point, I would advise you to find outside the gym 2 hours, let's say 2 days a week, because it's not necessarily an hour in the beginning, where you do some kind of a zone 2 work on a bike, swimming, running, something that stresses your body for a longer period at a low heart rate where you can still talk. It will build a very good aerobic base, and that aerobic base will help you also maintain your VO2 max. Ideally, on top of that, you would have at least once a week that you do something that raises your heartbeat closer to the max, which is, we also get that to a point doing Metcons. Some Metcons are very intense, but you could also do one of your sessions, swim, bike, run, and just do intervals and just go high. So we want some low intensity and we want some high intensity, and that will keep our heart trained and our VO2 max maintained.
Can you remind people again what the zone 2 is in short?
The zone 2 is a heart rate zone, and there are different ways to calculate it. It's a heart rate zone in which you can still have a conversation while you run, for example, but it's slightly uncomfortable, but you can still have it. One method to calculate it is 180 minus your age. Let's say if I'm 40, 180 minus 40 gives me a 140, and then 5 beats above and 5 beats below, put a heart rate monitor on and stay in that zone. So between 135 and 145 in this example, and just learn your body to stay in that zone. You did it also in the beginning. It's hard to stay in that zone if your body is not trained to it, and you start spiking. So then you start, every time you spike out of the zone, you start walking. Let your heartbeat go back till the bottom line, under 135, start running or cycling again. Over time, your body adapts, and you can nicely stay in that zone for a longer period.
Yeah.
So this is just to give you a very good aerobic base, to have your slow twitch fibers trained enough. So when you need to do the intense stuff, the fast twitch fibers needs to work, that you have a very good base. They will support each other. But without a very good base, when you're going to do the intense stuff, your heart's going to spike much faster to the max than when you have the base. So it's important to have the base.
Exactly. So at this point, if you already got here, so let's say you train 2 times a week or even 3 times a week, and then you have 1 or 2 runs per week, you're going to be at a nice fitness level. And if you are thinking that, okay, I finished my training with a coach and I entered the gym, some people might feel a bit insecure when they are training into a group. But I would like to encourage people listening that at a CrossFit gym, usually people are very nice and they're supportive, and they will not see you as a challenger, but as somebody as trying to get to the position they were a while ago. So I encourage them to try it.
So for people that didn't work out in their life, there are obvious benefits to working out, and I wanted to go over a couple. Most of them you probably know, because in this field, there is in nutrition and in fitness, it's a lot of times, it's not that people don't know. It's just getting them to do it that is the hard part. So one of the benefits to working out regular is that it reduces the chronic diseases, so heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure. So it helps with that, to fight that. It helps your immune system. So stressing your body, because it's a stress, doing training, stressing your body on a regular basis will help you fight off colds and throat pains and stuff like that more easily than when you don't never stress your body. Obviously, it's a stress reliever. Exercising releases endorphins in your brain, make you feel better. Maybe you had a hard day at work, and it helps you fight the stress that daily life gives you inevitably. And then, of course, it helps with weight gain, because you're also burning. Ideally, of course, we should be talking about, it's in combination, good nutrition with the regular exercise, but the exercise by itself also helps with not gaining weight, and helps with losing fat. Not necessarily the number on the scale sometimes might change, but your body composition changes because you started doing exercises, you gain some muscle, and you look better in the mirror, not necessarily lower on the scale, but you lost some fat and your body started recompositioning a bit. If we also want to get lower on the scale, we're going to have to, like we talked in other episodes, be in a caloric deficit, so it's going to be also the nutrition. And like I said before, bones and joints, they benefit from having the stress on it. They will get more dense. You feel strong. Feeling strong makes feeling strong and being strong and lifting the weights in the gym will make the daily tasks easier to do, whatever that may be. Carrying the groceries to the car, lifting up your kit, climbing the stairs. Also, by doing those exercises and those lunges and those box step-ups, all of a sudden climbing the stairs in your building after strengthening the muscles and also working the cardio, it becomes easier. So daily life stuff becomes easier. Doing fitness, you set and you achieve goals, so that helps you build a sense of accomplishment. You started at point A, you did certain stuff, and you reach point B, so you feel good and better about yourself, and of course also in combination with body image. Your body starts changing. Obviously, everybody wants to look good or better naked. You feel better in your clothes, you feel better in your skin. It helps with just your general self-confidence. So all the type of things that can benefit you and why you should be doing sports. It has a big impact on people's life, especially on those that never did it, so never know these feelings these things that I named. If then for 6 months or a year they're into their fitness journey and they start experiencing these things, they will ask themselves, why didn't I start earlier?
Yeah, like all the time. This is the most common thing I hear. I'm upset I didn't start this earlier.
But it's never too late. That's how we started our podcast. No matter when you start, you can still get all these benefits. It's never too late, and you will feel better.
Exactly.
No matter the age you are. Because we have a member in the gym, and he only started maybe when he was 60. He started this fitness journey, and now he's beginning 70. So it's never too late.
Exactly. So going back to the question, can I get in shape if I just started later in life, let's say 35, 40? The answer is definitely yes. Because if your life expectancy is 90 to 100, you definitely have a long way to go and have fun on that way.
Yeah, you want to do that in the best condition possible.
Exactly. Don't end up in the nursing home, so somebody to take care of you. Let's hope we are healthy and we don't have an accident, and we are just safe and sound.
Well, also getting stronger and more bone density. The moments that you then fall, it's a little bit like an armor that you build around yourself. You won't be so fragile. I think the most important thing to say is that yes, you can get in shape at any age, but make sure you get guided by people that have been doing this professional, so they can guide you into it in a sustainable way and with knowledge. So if you don't have the knowledge yourself, find somebody that does and follow their path and believe in the process.
That's a good point to end this. Cool. So if you have any questions, please let us know. We will talk any question that you have about this subject. Just send us a DM and we'll take it from there. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the gym.